Hey guys. All right, so I've had this thing, this I don't know, this message that I've been wanting to share with you guys for a little bit. And it's like, you know how sometimes you have something come up in your head and then you kind of dismiss it, and then like God puts it back on your heart again, and then you like, I'll make a post about it later. And then it like keeps on just coming back up. And so it's like, all right, I get the point. It's obviously something I'm supposed to share about. And the reason why I think, especially coming from me, why this topic is super relevant and pertinent is because I've experienced it. And I know that a lot of people experience it in other ways. But what I want to share with you guys is that just because something feels good doesn't mean that it's good for you. I think that a lot of times in our journey, just in our daily lives, we all feel pain. We all, get hurt. We all have, hurt feelings or whatever, and disappointments, setbacks, failures. And when we go through those things, it's human nature to want some kind of comfort or some kind of something to put on that wound. It can be something in a relationship. It can be something in your job. It can be, like how many times have you had like a really hard day at work, and a lot of times you come home from work, you had a crappy day, so you want to feel better. So we have a glass of wine, or we indulge in maybe like desserts or food or whatever. And so that part of life is normal. Like we want to make ourselves feel good, but there's also things that we can do that can be unhealthy. So if you are seeking things to make yourself feel better that are not good, that are not serving you, that is something that you should really be careful about. And why I really wanted to, I was like trying to write a post and type it out, and it was just really hard for me to like get the words together. But there's just like, I've been now like going to counseling. I work with a life coach, and there's just so much that I've learned and so much that I've realized how I've personally like gotten off track and why certain things have happened in my life and in my world that I could have prevented, or I could have done better or done different. And it's because I had voids in my life, and instead of doing something to fix the actual problem, I was just trying to fix the feeling of that pain. Like it's kind of, how sometimes we get frustrated when you go to the doctor because they just want to prescribe you medicine, and the medicine just fixes the symptom. It doesn't fix like what's actually wrong with your body. Well, that's the same thing that we do in relationships. We do things to make ourselves feel better in that moment. And yes, having a glass of wine, having that ice cream, going through the drive-thru. Oh my gosh, I can't tell you how many times I had a bad day and there's now a Dairy Queen on my street. And there's been so many times that I've gone to Dairy Queen and gotten a cookie dough blizzard because it makes me feel good. It's like, yay, I had a crappy day. I deserve to have this. But really, it's not like what I want to share with you guys isn't even food related. Like I don't mean to keep on taking it to the health and fitness world, but my mind just kind of defaults there since that's what I do. But really what I want to talk about regarding this is unhealthy relationships. Sometimes if you're having a void in your life, sometimes you can resort to seeking attention or seeking relationship with somebody that you know is bad for you. If you if you have that girlfriend that you know that you call her, it's going to turn into a 1 or 2 hour just gossip, drama fest. And that kind of thing can breed negativity. It can breed just you picking yourself apart, picking apart your world to just, because when you're talking to somebody else that's negative, then it breeds more negativity in you. And so when you reach out to fill a void by calling that person that's toxic, then you're allowing that toxicity into your life. If you also, people can do that with attention. You can be feeling lonely. You can be feeling sad. You can be feeling like you are just not supported and that you're just there's been so many times as an introvert and as a very quiet, reserved person that I have felt just alone, that I've just felt like it's like that Jerry Maguire scene, if you've ever, no, not Jerry Maguire, it's What Women Want. And there's that one girl that works there and she's like super quiet. She's a great employee and like you can tell that she's like always doing everything for everybody, but she's still like in her mind, she's like, would anybody even notice if I was gone? And, so she's has depression and things like that. So, I have totally been there, just very apathetic, very withdrawn, very, just lonely. And when you are in that place, sometimes, especially if you have dealt with apathy before, you will do anything to just feel again, because you can feel so dead inside, like nothing makes you mad anymore, nothing makes you happy anymore, nothing gets you excited anymore. Everything is just blah all the time. And that's very typical or very much like apathy. So, and when you get into that place, you just want to feel something. Hey, Nicole. Hey, guys. Thank you all so much for hopping on. So you just want to feel something inside. And so when you do that, you are running the chance of reaching out and making relationships or communicating with things that can be unhealthy for you. And you can, and like I said, it can be a friend, it can be like a toxic person in your life, it can be a predator, like somebody that is like somebody that only has bad intentions for you, but because you're just wanting to feel, you allow them in. Because you just think like, oh, I'm just going to talk back and forth, text back and forth with this person because it brings you a little bit of excitement. But the thing is that is so dangerous because it's kind of like a drug. It's like the first time that you have, well, I'm not personally talking from experience, but like what they say with drug addiction, it's like you have drugs and then you need a little bit more to feel that high. And then the next time you need a little bit more. And so when you are bringing something in that is unhealthy and is toxic and is bad for you, and you're doing it because you want to feel better, then that next time that you reach out and that you want to feel better again, you're going to need more. And the problem with doing that is that you are simply like putting a Band-Aid on the problem. You're never going in and fixing what's wrong. So like for me, when I was talking about feeling apathetic and just feeling withdrawn and disconnected from my life, from my world, and it's hard to even explain because you would think from the outside looking in, you're like, you have a son, you have a family, you have a business, you have all these good things going for you. Like how in the world can Jen feel like that? And just, what do you mean you feel lonely? You have like thousands of people that are messaging you all the time and, all this stuff. But the thing is that whatever the reason is for that void that constantly was coming up in my world, I have gone through times where I have chosen the unhealthy option, whether it was, attention from men or wine and alcohol, shots, toxic friendships, toxic relationships, all of those things are avenues that I have gone down in the past. And the problem with that is that they make you feel better in the moment, but then you always feel like crap afterwards. Retail therapy, that's another one. That's another way that we try to make ourselves feel better. We go out and we spend a ton of money and we start online shopping and we start putting stuff in our online shopping cart, and you feel so much better in the moment. You're like, oh yes, I can't wait for those shoes to come in. I can't wait for those new products from that I just ordered on whatever, Victoria's Secret. You're like, that's going to make me feel better. And it does make you feel better in that moment. And it does make you feel good when that package arrives and you open it. But the problem is that it's a temporary fix. Whatever it is that is causing you to get into a bad place, to get into whatever the feeling is that you're trying to anesthetize, you are just temporarily hiding it from yourself, and you're fooling yourself if you think that you're doing anything to make yourself better. And you have to get to a place in your life where you are willing to be honest with yourself, and you're willing to just take a stand for your own health and your own well-being and sanity. Because those kind of things are patterns. And like I said, I have chosen pretty much all of the bad avenues other than drug addiction. Like I have chosen men, I have chosen alcohol, I have chosen shopping, I have chosen just withdrawing from life. And none of them are long-term fixes, obviously. Really, the only thing that helps and the only thing that really gets to the bottom of the issue is being honest and open with yourself, and admitting that there's a problem and admitting like what is wrong. So for me, that's why now I work with a life coach, and I still, deal with things on, from time to time, and I still deal with issues of thinking that I'm not good enough as a mom, or not good enough as, a business owner, a leader, and those kind of things. But when I keep those things inside and I don't let it out, then those feelings of limited worth and value, they just start to fester, and you start to believe those lies. And that's why you have to release those. You have to have a person in your life that is a positive resource for you, where you can talk about what's going on in your world, and that they're not going to judge you, and that they're not going to add to that toxicity. Like I had said previously when I started this video, you can have those friendships. I remember them clearly, people that I used to work with, where they're just a ball of negativity and they thrive on that. People that are negative, they love the more negativity, the better. They want to add to the drama. They want to gossip. They want to talk crap about people and say why, oh, I would never let that happen to me, and oh, I would never parent like that, and oh, did you see what this person brought their kid to school in, or whatever. I don't even know what people gossip and talk crap about. But when you have if that is the outlet that you're going to, that's just going to breed more negativity in your life. So you have to be honest with yourself and realize what you're doing to make yourself feel better is only temporary, and you've got to get to the bottom. You have to get to the root cause. It's just like in your yard. If you just go in and you just smooth over the weeds without pulling it out from the root, tomorrow you're going to go outside and it's going to be growing back again. And you're like, what the heck? I just went out there and, cut over those weeds and now they're back. Well, guess what? They're going to keep on coming back until you get down and do that dirty, hard work of getting it down to the root. Figuring out what that root cause is different for everybody. And like I said, the issues that you might be going through, it could be a million different things. It could be, stuff going on at work, stuff going on in your marriage, stuff going on with your kids, whatever it is that makes you get to that place where you are like, I deserve, extra wine tonight. I deserve, to go out and get chocolate cake and just whatever. And there's times for that. I'm not saying, because I totally do that. But if that is your constant go-to, if you are getting to that place on a regular basis where you are giving yourself these things so that you're not feeling the pain or the hurt from your day, then that's when you have to really be honest and decide if there is a problem that you really need to address. Those other outlets, they're just temporary. And you, in order to get to the bottom, I'm a Christian, so I fall back on my faith. I fall back on knowing that if I have a void, it's usually because I've been disconnected or not really giving that part of my life over to God. And, or it's either, for me, it's usually that, or it's because I am holding things in and I'm keeping feelings and thoughts and secrets inside and not letting them come out. And when I do that, that's usually when I get into these places where I will seek other ways to make myself feel better. So, anyways, this is kind of like a complex thing to talk about without knowing your situation or whatever. But that's why I just wanted to share with you what personally was going on for me and how I've been able to notice things and help myself in those times, because I can see it in others where I'm getting tongue-tied there. Something that you do once in a while to feel better becomes the regular. And then that's when you have to start to wonder why it is that you're needing to put that Band-Aid on every single day. If you think about, like, if you're a mom and you've got a child, like if they had a wound and you were like putting a Band-Aid on every single day and it was never getting better, you might start to wonder, you might think, all right, maybe just covering it up with this Spider-Man Band-Aid is not going to do it. You might need to get stitches. You might need to go get, professional assistance, right? So it's the same thing with our day-to-day lives. So, if you feel like any of those things that I mentioned, if you feel lonely, withdrawn, and just like you are doing things to try and not feel anymore, then I would love for you to reach out to me. I have totally been there. And like I said, pretty much any bad avenue that you can imagine, I have done. I would never judge anybody for any of their life choices, because when you are feeling so out of it and so hopeless, then just wanting to, like, when you feel like you're so down and just so far down this dark tunnel, you don't even know how to climb back out. Trust me, I get that feeling of just wanting to do something. And that thing that presents itself might not be a healthy option for you. So anyways, I just needed to get that off my chest because it's just been coming back to my head. And as many times as I've tried to make a Facebook post about it, I just couldn't get my words out. So that's why I did this live video, and I just really had it on my heart. And if you are watching this video and you are in that place, I really do hope that you message me or comment, or just get support and find somebody that is a healthy person in your world and that will help you to, get that support that you need. So, all right, guys, I'm going to go pick up the kiddo from school. So I hope you all are having an awesome day, and I will talk to you later. Bye.